So we're in number 24. We're going to do line 4 now. And this is where we start to change sounds every 2 measures. And I want you to take note, from the end of the last video, you may have just noticed that I'm keeping my eyes on this. Now, it's not because I can't memorize it, but it's because that's the habit I want to show you guys, right? So just make sure you're keeping your eyes on this. So number 24, line 4. I'm going to count it and then not count it. First 2 bars are bass. Next 2 bars are tones. 1, 2, ready, and go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And again, 2, ready, count. Last line. Now take a look at it, and if you notice, it's 2 bars of the same sound. You can see that they're all X's, 2 bars of slaps, and then we mix in 2 beats of bass, 2 beats of tone, or 3 beats of tone, and 3 beats of slap. If you keep your hands ahead of your eyes, what I just said won't be confusing. If you were listening to me but not looking at it and not examining, I imagine that was confusing. So if you need to, rewind it and be looking at the page as you're listening to me. Line 5, counting first, then not counting. 1, 2, ready, count. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Again, 2, ready, count. So I'm going to go all the way through it twice, once with counting, once without counting. All right? Take note of this timestamp right here, right before we start, in case you want to rewind it. This, when I count it out loud, this is going to be a good opportunity. If you need to write in some counts, you can kind of follow along and, okay, this note sounded like it was on beat 3. Pro tip, the very first thing in each measure on the left, after the bar line that you see in each measure, whether it's an eighth note, a quarter note, a rest of any sort, the first thing is always beat 1, right? So sometimes people think, oh, eighth notes, they come on the and, so that must, if you see an eighth note at the beginning of the measure, for example, the first measure of 24, you can think, oh, and 1. Think of them as a street address, right? And your first house and your second house, and you got like a little house in between, and that's the and count, right? Whether or not there's a house on this lot right here, that street address is 1, right? And then that little house in between, this is a weird analogy, the little house in between is the and count, right? But if there's nothing over here, or if we know we're having, big house, little house, it doesn't change what comes first. First thing in each measure, on the left, after the bar line, on the left of each measure, after the bar line. I'm saying this several times because it has been... there's always been about 10% of people each year that have gotten this a little bit mixed up. And so I want to put it on record, make sure that everybody gets this. It's my goal for everybody every year from now on, from making this video in perpetuity, that you don't miss this part, is that the first thing in the measure is beat 1. Okay? So keep your eyes ahead of your hands, and we're going to go all the way through all 20 measures. If you can only get the rhythm, get the rhythm. If you can count it and get the rhythm, count it and get the rhythm. If you can count it and get the rhythm and play the right basses and tones and slaps, great. Whatever you got, build on it. Here we go. 24 counting. 1, 2, ready, count. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 to your tones. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1, 2 and 3. Here's the third line. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 it right, you should be getting a little tingle at this point. All right, I'm going to go through it one more time. Take note. If you need to go back, if you need to slow it down, do that now. All right, here we go. All the way through. No training wheels, no counting. You do it for yourself. I'm not going to do it for you. 1, 2, 24, go.